Alrighty, welcome back everybody. We are continuing on with our Fill to Diamond series. Once again, we're playing Maokai support. I've gotten auto-filled support in the last about 3 games in a row, so it's kind of crazy how much support I've been playing recently, although it does give me a lot of practice, so that's always nice. Anyways, we are playing an engaged support along with a Kog'Maw into a Jhin and Nami. So I'm going to try to talk you through what I'm going to do this game and how we're going to take over and help win. And in this game I do particularly well at vision control. So I kind of want to use this as an example to teach you guys how you can establish vision and what benefits it can give you. Unfortunately here I have to blow my flash at level 1. I was expecting them to gank from the bottom, that's why I was standing there. So I wasn't expecting a gank from such high up, but it's alright. Flash won't be super crucial in this laning phase. The only thing I can think of maybe Flash and Nami Bubble, but it's already pretty slow projectile, so I'm not super worried about having to dodge it. Another unfortunate thing right here is that I started W, thinking that I need to lock one of them down. But in reality it would have been a lot better to start Q, because I want to be able to contest the wave if I can, level 1. And I can't really do that with W because it does no damage. So, a little unfortunate, but we're still going to play it through. So, we're heading down to lane now after helping the leash. And I know that with this laning phase, it's going to be... Let me turn down the sound again, just a little bit. I know with this laning phase, since they're both ranged, it's going to be really hard for me and Kog'Maw to do pretty much anything. Go for a quick trade here at level 1. I didn't want my Kog'Maw to get bullied for free, and I knew that I still had bone plating up, so I figured I'd go for a quick W trade on Jhin just to put some pressure on him as well. I'm going up and stacking the minions whenever I think I can. Mostly what I'm trying to do here is just thin the wave, because thinning the wave allows them to not push into us quite so aggressively and gives us a little bit more agency in the lane. So that's super important. Against double ranged, it can be really hard to actually keep that agency, but we're going to try our best here. So we're getting some free autos, but we're pretty tanky, so it's not the worst, and Maokai's passive is really good at sustaining him through lane, since he heals percent max health every time, well, every next auto, which is a really good sustain tool in lane. What I'm looking for here is just trying to stack the cannons if I can, or the minions if I can. Mostly looking at that cannon. I take a little bit of free harass there. I'm mostly just trying to keep them off our tower, because personally I'd rather trade my health, which I can regen, than the tower's health, because obviously it cannot regen. And I don't want to give them any free plates. Pretty standard laning too. I believe I'm out of health pots now. Yeah. So it's looking a little bit unfortunate for us. I'm pinging for some assistance. Because Yi's been topside like the whole game. But they've been pushing us the whole game. I can lock him down. I feel like it'd be a pretty free kill for Yi. I always love using my saplings like this too. It's just a zoning tool. I'm trying to force them away from each other. Was the goal there. They ended up walking together into the bush, but like if I throw it there, sometimes the Jhin might walk up, which is another super useful Maokai tool. I see my jungler in the river. He wants to come down, so I want to hop in. I just W straight onto the Nami, since I know that she's going to be the easiest to kill. I knock her back towards my Kog'Maw in hopes that that he'll just target her, but instead he hits the Jhin, which is really unfortunate. My Yi goes for the Jhin now, but now both of them are basically gone, so. I'm really low, but I'm trying to look for the re-engage if Yi's able to do anything. But my health is too low, so I kind of got to get out of here. Heading for our first base of the game. Pretty unfortunate start, but the rest of my team is doing rather well, so it's not too bad. I'm still 0-0-0. I buy a Ruby Crystal just for the early sustain, along with a control ward, which is super important and leads me into the first lesson for our vision control guide today, which is you need to buy control wards before major objectives. So I know that this dragon's about to spawn very soon, It's up right now. So I know that I need a control ward for vision denial so we can actually secure this. The second thing that we need for securing these early dragons is getting lane prio. And if you don't know what that means, basically that means we need to shove our minion wave enough that we get 2 or 3 waves crashed under the enemy turret. That makes them have to sit under turret and collect those minions, otherwise they lose tons of gold and XP, and allows us to rotate over and help with Drake. And so that's the ultimate goal. I'm placing a ward right here just in case Bel'Veth tries a stupid wall hop after getting Rift Herald. But yeah, clearing out the vision. It's always important to hit this vision plant as well. And importantly here, I also take the plant away from them, so they can't use it. You can see from that little, once we got the wave pushed up into them from that little roam I was able to do, I got wards. All the way down into the enemy jungle here. Got ganked in mid, that's a little unfortunate. But it looks like our Yi is there to pick it up. Very nice. We're basically chilling in bot lane. Trying to keep up our vision control, trying to get stuff done. We're trying to ping Yi off of here. Because I ping missing here, trying to make sure that he knows that the bot lane is gone and are probably coming over to him. Fortunately, he does not heed our warning, so I try to get over here, thinking about maybe flashing the wall, try and help him out, but he gets killed before I can do anything. So instead, I just clear out the vision here and try to get my own with these saplings as well. I know Bel'Veth is bot side, so I don't really want to hard shove here, because then we could get collapsed on. We're trying to keep our saplings in the river as much as possible just to get vision out there, because the more we can see, the more we know what to do with. Here, I know that Bel'Veth is likely still bot side stealing those camps, because we haven't seen her cut through mid lane, and it's unlikely that she would recall with Dragon up. So I'm just trying to get this shoved out fast so that we can leave. That's the goal. And here I'm going for a first item Sunfire Cape. You can see I build right into the Bomby Cinder. That's mostly because they are all AD except for Nami. So getting an armor item that's also a health item first, like Sunfire, is going to be really good. It also increases my damage in fights, which is super important because I'm the only magic damage on my team. Oh, actually, scratch that, I forgot. This Rengar builds a little bit of AP, which is a little strange, but I'm the only real magic damage on the team. He ends up building AD a little later. Trying to keep my vision control up. They're clearing vision off this Drake, but he is top side, so there's not much I can do about it. I want to just get some eyes on this if I can help it. So I throw the sapling in the pit trying to see. Then I walk over here. I accidentally walk into a trap and get rooted, which is very unfortunate. But with enough health and survivability, we're able to escape. Again, trying to keep the vision up here by keep throwing those saplings. These saplings are uninhibited by control wards, so they're very useful for keeping vision in bushes. I place my own control ward there, try to keep them off my Kog'Maw. He's mostly a scaling ADC, so I'm not super worried about trying to get kills in lane. I'm more worried about just trying to allow my laners and my jungler to see everything that's going on. I know that Pantheon's going to ult in, so I exhaust Jhin here, hoping that he won't kill my Kog'Maw, which works out pretty well. We take down Bel'Veth as well. Nami does make it out for the meantime, but Pantheon flash spears for it. So now this is another important aspect. I've been teaching this in a few of my last games, but we have to push out this wave. If we leave the wave like this, it's just going to stay here, and both teams are going to lose a ton of minions. And it's obviously fine if the enemy loses minions, but it's just especially important that we let our bot lane get the minions on the way back once this wave bounces back after tower. So it's crucially important that we always crash the wave if we're given the opportunity. If our ADCs come back to base, or even if they want to take a base themselves, crashing the wave on the tower is just super, super important. They're rifting in mid. I see that this is going on, but I'll see that Panthe's recalling. So I decide to kind of take this middle path towards both lanes, just in case I need to go bot and defend this turret, or if I need to go mid and try to help them out. Yi goes for the tower dive, but accidentally cancels his Q, so a little bit unfortunate. And Kog'Maw is a little bit overconfident here. I do show up trying to just stop her from clearing the wave, but there's not much to do. So I just clear out this ward, drop a sapling over here for my my laner when they come back, and head back bot lane to try and help out Pantheon. I'm level 6, but I do not have R yet. Take out their ward. See that she places another, so I immediately go sweep it. I know with Pantheon here, they don't have enough to actually kill me before he can get there and kill them. I also throw a sapling in the bush because, like I said before, they are uninhibited by control wards, so it's super easy to get vision through that. Maokai is one of the best supports to play if you're trying to improve your vision control score, because he has those saplings for free that give vision, and he's able to defend himself very well in the case that you have to go warding by yourself. Like, he's way less likely to get picked off than like a Lux or like a Lulu, something like that. Here, I'm able to, so I go and take out that control ward. And they're a little too overextended, so I ult in here, mostly focusing down the Nami since she's squishy, and I don't want her to have heals. She flashes away, and I'm totally fine with that trade, because her flash has a significantly longer cooldown than my ult. So it's pretty worth, we get a good trade out here, and I go right back to fighting for vision. I want to stack these minions and get prio in lane so I can go help out the rest of the map. I throw the sapling just to chase them off a little bit so I make sure the wave crashes. Here is something I'm a little proud of here. I fake a recall just to bait the Nami into coming and trying to kill me, and I'm able to get us a free kill out of it. I used a W target, and then I flashed right onto it so that it instantly cast my W. Here, I am able to knock her away before she E's, so I stop myself from getting executed. So that was a pretty important play made right there, and I got my Kog'Maw snowballing a little bit. Pantheon wants to come down, but I'm too low health, so there's nothing I can really do here. Whew, close fight. In mid lane, Yi is just obliterating everybody. You can see off our recall, we were able to get our Sunfire Aegis and a control ward. And like I said, with that first vision rule, we got a control ward because there's a Drake coming up next. The second most important vision rule is kind of relating to what I told you guys earlier, which was getting prio in the lane before objectives so that we're able to roam by crashing the wave. Whenever you crash the wave with your ADC, or your ADC crashes it and they don't really need you, then you should always be looking to get wards like up here or up here. I like this spot a lot, kind of on the edge of the bush right there. Those are all great places to know when the enemy jungler is coming, know where the enemy jungler is coming from when they come to gank you, and it just makes playing the map a lot easier. He wants to go for Drake here, so I'm helping him out. He has sweeper, so I don't bother using my control ward. Yi shreds through it because he already has a Kraken Slayer. And he wants to ult here, so I R, but I mess up my R angle a little bit. I figured it. I always forget how slow it travels at first. Now here's where it gets a little silly. I knocked Jhin back just so Yi can one-shot him, but it doesn't look like Yi's very interested in that. And then he tries to tower dive him by himself, which is already a little sketch. And then I W in on Jhin again once I get that, and I throw him there. But for some reason, Yi just runs away. So it could have been a free kill, and I'm pretty sure I could have lived, but it's all right. I'm not salty anymore. You can see with Yi and Pantheon, they're coming down to get this done now. With the wave coming in, this is a perfect opportunity for a dive. Pantheon dies, but they get both of them and get out, which is very nice. I spawn, I grab another Ruby Crystal just for more durability, and I grab a control ward. I'm heading up to Rift Herald because I know that with all the chaos that's going on down here, she's more than likely up here going for it. So I want to try and stop her if I can, but obviously I couldn't see this at the time, but she's pretty much already done with it. Which is unfortunate because with Bel'Veth specifically, she gets her ultimate form. But it's not too bad. I'm just drop down a ward to make sure she's not going to try to invade, and then I get out of there. I noticed that she left the Scuttle Crab up, so I'm going to go ahead and start taking it. I don't actually want the gold from it. I give it to my Yi, so I'm kind of just pinging to target it. I didn't know you could do that. I accidentally knocked it over the wall until it came back. Now Yi's ready to come take it, so I get on the other side of it and knock it towards him. Now here, I'm going to focus on the third vision rule, which is that we need to always be fighting for vision in the mid game, because vision is how 90% of games are won. Obviously I made up that stat, but like actually more games than you think are won solely because one team's able to see more than the other. At its base, League of Legends is a game about information, and having more vision gives you more information. And that's why it's so important that we're able to actually see more and able to do more with our knowledge. I go for an engage right here. It doesn't work out too well, but it's okay. I'm priming topside. I didn't think that Kog'Maw would try to duel a Bel'Veth by himself, otherwise I would have stayed with him, but it's okay. So what we're doing here is mostly just trying to get vision out here, down there obviously, and up here, just so we're able to see where everyone is at any given time. I recall and get my wards back along with a Kindle gem, and since they're all AD, I'm thinking about itemizing against that. So next item I'm thinking about getting is a Thorn Mail, which would significantly help against the Nami heals and the Bel'Veth heals and the Yasuo heals, and the Olaf for that matter. So yeah, I get Bramble Vex next. That's a super valuable purchase. After that, I was planning on getting a Frozen Heart, because with the Yasuo, the Olaf, and the Bel'Veth, Frozen Heart will be super valuable against them. I try to kind of play hero here and save Rengar, and it ends up getting me killed. Which is unfortunate, but again, it's alright. That's one of my problems that I figured out with support. I think that I can save everybody, so I always try to go for it, and it usually does not work out too much to my favor. Yi cleans it up in mid lane, which is very nice, and now we get to go set up for the next dragons. That's where I'll be booking it to. Mostly whenever dragons are up, my vision control setup looks like control ward on the Drake itself, And then I want to get one ward right here so I know if they're coming from this way, and I want to get one ward right here so I know if they're coming from that way. Those are the two main entryways to the jungle from base. Obviously they could go like down and then through here, but that's a little bit more niche. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put those two wards there, and then I will throw a sapling over here or something. I want to keep one ward, importantly, just in case they all come in and we get shoved on this side of the pit. I need a ward at least to be able to actually let Yi know when to try and hop over with the glass cone and steal it. So that's my mindset when setting up dragons. Obviously none of that really applied here because they were completely unable to contest us. The next plan here is to try and rotate topside to get vision back up there, because we need to get vision for this next Baron fight. So in order to do that, as I told you before with the second rule, we have to get Prio in mid lane, shove out the wave in mid lane first, and then we can actually get vision. Much to my dismay, and the dismay of my ADC, Bel'Veth was waiting to camp us. So we did get the wave pushed out in mid, but we also got collapsed on, which is unfortunate, but I don't want this to discourage me or any of you guys from trying this strategy to push out mid whenever you can, because if Bel'Veth wasn't there, we could have taken an easy kill on Nami and then probably gotten out of there. So it's unfortunate that Bel'Veth was there, but we're not going to let that ruin our mindset on how we need to fight for vision. It is a battle. What I'm looking for here is trying to make sure Bel'Veth's not still here. I didn't know exactly where she was, but I take this over and find Yasuo. I try to bait him into me so we can kill him with Yi. Walk up. I'm just looking for a W. I know that Yi has enough damage to like one-shot him. And I don't want to take the kill. So now we're trying to shove out top lane, again getting Prio, so that we can start up this Baron. I noticed this ward over here, but I don't really have the time to take it right now because I'm also trying to help my team. They're running out of sweepers, so I use my control ward, important for objectives, as I said. And normally I would want to have some vision up here and some vision right here and here. Those are my favorite warding spots for a top lane setup for Baron. Olaf starts by getting hit by the tower. I think he was planning on getting executed so that we wouldn't get the kill on him, but Pantheon ult kind of messed up his strategy there. Alrighty, if we look at items, I got the Bramble Vest like I said, and I'm building towards a Frozen Heart next. That's the goal. So, this time, I know there's no objective in topside, but I am still shoving to try and get more vision up here, because like I said, mid-game picks are the #1 way. Additionally, I know they're fine in mid because Yi's with them, so I'm trying to use Baron buff in all the lanes. That's another important thing that a lot of teams forget about, is that you should have Baron in every lane, like at all times. If you don't, then you're kind of just wasting the buff. So here, I'm just trying to hard shove the wave so that I can meet them at the base and pressure all three lanes. That's one of the best ways to get an end play in League, because if you force them to have to protect all three lanes at once, there's almost no chance that they'll make the right decision and kind of try to take down one of you guys at once. They're going to split up, they're going to panic, and you're going to get easy kills off it. And here, normally, if we didn't get a pentakill, it'd be a lot harder. We'd be balancing at all three turrets. But with Yi's pentakill, it's a pretty easy end to the game. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the after scene, where I show you guys the stats from this game. See you then. Alright, moving into the post-game review. This is the match that we just watched. Even though I had a pretty low KDA, if we look at the stats, our team was ahead pretty much the whole time. Going over, we had still the largest crowd control score in the game of 40. Looking at graphs, we did okay damage. We did more than the enemy mid laner, funny enough, even though he was not doing very well still. But if we look at vision, this is really what I want to highlight this game. Overall vision score, I was the highest in the game by far. You can see I was 40 above the enemy support. For wards placed, also the highest. Wards destroyed, also the highest. Control wards purchased, also the highest. And that's really how I was able to impact this game is through vision control. So I hope you enjoyed these tips, and thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this series.